Hey, you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. We are talking some activities. We're gonna do toddler activities in this video, and I'm gonna show you ways to make it more advanced for the preschool level too. Got lots of ideas in this video. Let's get started right away. Many of the activities I'm showing you today, I really wanna try to gear towards toddlers. And having said that, I wanna give some variations for preschool or for more challenging levels. The thing about it is that you know the level of your child, and so really use your best judgment as to what is most appropriate for your child. Some of the things I'm going to show you do involve some small parts. So if your child is oral or puts things in their mouth still, you might want to consider different options, and I'll try to mention some as we go along. This first one is kind of one that I feel has been around for a while. I wanted to add some new Christina flair to it. I see it all over Pinterest, and we're going to start off with a taped animal rescue. If you have a toddler, this will become a very entertaining activity to do, and it's so simple. I am using these Safari LTD tubes. They are a Purple Alphabet favorite. I do not have a coupon code for you right now. They kind of did away with giving me coupon codes a while back when they had changes of people in their offices, but they did send me this a long time ago. This is the Great Lakes tube. You can use any tube. These are small, so they're recommended for ages 3 and up. Now, the thing with fine motor activities is that you do need smaller objects. If you have a young one who's putting things in their mouth, you can do some other options. For example, I have this big bag of dinosaurs with chunky animals in it. I'll have to try and find some examples and link everything down in Amazon for you. But these are made for toddler aged children. They're one piece. You can't swallow them or choke on them very easily compared to something this small. When my kids were younger, we had these and we used them very frequently, but they were quickly able to use these without putting them in their mouth, and I was supervising, so it wasn't a choking issue. Use your best judgment. But if you have these at home, these will work great. I mean, they come in all sorts of different sizes. And so this will do the trick too. And this doesn't have to be animals. It can also be, Duplo blocks. It can be Matchbox cars, other construction cars. And I'm putting a few on a tray. You could also do this activity on a high chair, on a table, you name it. Okay, so I got some animals here. I didn't use them all, but I got some animals here. And this activity, the one that you'll see all over Pinterest, is actually taping them down using some painter's tape. I just happen to have some tape here that I'm going to use up, but painter's tape definitely comes off a lot easier. And for this activity, you are just taping down the items to your tray. And I would also, if you're just starting off with this, I'd leave a little lip so they can grab it with their fingers. If you're trying to make it more difficult and they have the ability to kind of peel off from the edge, then you can really push that tape down. I can't find my end. Where's my end? There we go. Then I would really push it down to make it more challenging. So depending on your child will depend on how well you tape these little guys down. You could also use more than one piece of tape to make it more challenging. If this is too easy or if they're able to take them off too easily, you can vary it up as well. Make some super easy, some more difficult, just to give them some challenge and satisfaction of being able to take them off. One of the things that I like about this is that this is something you could set up on your own and have it ready to go for the week and to pull out. So you don't have to do it right away. So I've given you some variations on how to do this in different ways, making it harder and easier just with the tape pull. And the activity is just that, pulling off the tape and rescuing the animal. It's also good to give them something to put the animal in, like a tray or container. This one came from Dollar Tree, and you can keep this, move all your supplies here off to the side. And when they rescue an animal, they can deposit and store it inside their container here. Some ways to make this more challenging, to up the level, to make it more interesting, is to do some sorting. So this particular set has land, sea, and air animals in it. So if you just take a Post-it and this container, for example, like I said, I got this at Dollar Tree. You can use any containers you have. I'm very big on using things that you already have at home. So if there's something you have at home, don't be afraid to pull it out, even if it doesn't look like the most beautiful, This is a lesson that is more preschool based, and you have a discussion and talking about. Now you have a little categorization. If you're not using animals, you could also do this with colors, right? You could put a tray with the different colors and do color sorting of your mega blocks. You could do counting, put 3 in here, 2 in here, 1 in here. You can set it up in so many different ways. Just use what makes sense and what works for your objects. So now when they pull out one of these animals, they have to come over here and examine the animal, and they have to figure out which category that animal goes in. And I just realized I didn't put out some of my sea animals or my water animals. I have 2 fish in here. So we'll say that they were in our thing, and then they can go in our water. And then we have one that can fly here. It's just a great extension activity to the animal rescue. All of that pulling off the tape is also great for the fine motor because they really have to pull and pick that up and take it off. And then we got a little bit of learning in with our sorting. As for items you probably already have at your house, if you don't, you can get them at Dollar Tree or Walmart. I have my big bucket of cars here. And I'm actually just looking for the Matchbox cars. This is another activity that you can switch out with anything really. You can switch out with pom-poms. You can switch out with small toys. You can switch out with, oh look, I got a little Mario one. That one's cute. Let's use that one. You can switch out with anything small that you have around the house. I'm using cars just because I wanted to show you a variety. I have 2 Yoshis. They're in different cars. We'll use both Yoshis. Ideally, depending on the size that you make this, depends on how many cars you're going to need. So if you have a lot of cars, you can go to town on this. And what I'm showing you is a very scaled down version. So this is just some paper. It's kind of large, so to speak. But think of this on larger scale, bigger sheets of paper, maybe in my whole white board here that you could do a whole thing on. Think all the way with some tape across the floor is how you can do this to kind of get your kids moving. But the concept is to follow a line. So I'm going to use markers for this. If you're doing this on the floor, pull out that painter's tape and do a whole line across your living room. So the concept would look like this. You could have straight lines, or somewhat straight if you can draw a straight line. You can have zigzags, and you can have even curved lines. So imagine you can either do this on paper, like I said, or on the floor. I think the floor is the best. And that's how we actually used to do it when we were kids. You just need more items or larger items. And the object is to start from left to right, lining up your toys, in this case cars, all the way across your line. Do it here with my zigzag. All right, you get the picture. If you have this across your floor, it's obviously going to take up a lot of room and a lot of space. I'll just give you some options. Another way to use this is to use it as a road. And what this is doing is it's doing pre-writing skills, believe it or not. So following the path and following the line is prepping them for when they're going to be doing reading and writing, going from left to right. And you're going to have to help them with that. Because usually what we do for pre-writing is we go ahead and we move along with tracing, or we do finger tracing. When we're learning our letters on how to make those lines, we do a lot of finger tracing. So this is kind of before that step. Okay, so those are some things that you could do with lines. And once again, even if it's on the ground, you can have them walk that line versus just using their finger. Giving you a lot of ideas here. To up it, to make it a little bit more challenging, somebody on my Instagram was talking about using this stamp. I did an Instagram reel about using it for writing, so you can stamp a line instantly anywhere. You can even make a zigzag. I got this little guy. I'm gonna have to put a link below because it's kind of fun, but they were talking about how that would be great for a road, but it's actually kind of too small for like Matchbox cars. So what I did is I found these guys in my stash. These are actually smaller vehicles, and these are at Dollar Tree. This is actually 2 or 3 packages of it, so I put them all together here, and they're little cars, and they're much smaller than the Matchbox cars. These are definitely a choking hazard, so that's why I didn't show them first. But this would be a great opportunity to use these. Now, I put them originally in a Play-Doh kit, and they were amazing because they also come with all these little signs. There's like caution signs and speed limit signs and stop signs, and they're just so adorable. So it gives you some options, and these will actually work with this line stamp if you wanted to do roads and draw roads on some paper, or even some, like, I don't know, let's just do a curved road here. You could even probably write letters if you wanted to write a letter. You can line them up on the road because there's a traffic jam. You can add little signs as they're going along, or you can do the same thing, write them along the line too. You can make a whole map and a whole picture. Variations is what I wanted to give to you guys, inspirations and ideas, so you can take them off and think of some things to do on your own. And then I'll definitely link this stamp below because it's so much fun to use, and you'll have access to where to get that. And then all these cards, don't forget, are at Dollar Tree. I will see if I can find these online too and put a link below. Dollar Tree does have availability to order them, and if you're going to order, you're probably going to order a couple sets anyway, or split them with friends. I don't know. You guys wouldn't know it, but I have a huge bin full of pom-poms and accessories to go along with it. I mean, I use pom-poms so many different times for different activities. This is the same box I've had since my kids were toddlers, and now they're 9 and 10, and I still have the box, and I still use it to demo activities for you. All kinds of tools, little Dixie cups that we use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some of the larger pom-poms, and I'm pulling out the larger ones because we're talking about toddlers here. The smaller ones probably won't be very really effective with the toddlers. As you get older, you can use the smaller pom-poms. I think the standard size is like this one. I even have some medium ones here. And right now, Dollar Tree even has some of the larger pom-poms too. I just did a Dollar Tree shop with me and showed you that it was a new item. They have packages of the larger pom-poms. They're more like yarn pom-poms. Next up are these Dollar Tree dot labels. This was also an item I used in a previous activity video, I believe, and I also featured it over on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm always giving a lot of extra ideas. And these dot labels, they come a lot to a package and they're all white. And the reason why I like them is because you can take some markers, as you can see, just color over them to make them whatever color you want. Dollar Tree does sell colored ones, but they're only like 3 colors or 4 colors in the package. You don't get the full rainbow. This way you can color them whatever rainbow color you want to get. So look for this. It's in the stationery section of Dollar Tree. I'm going to also put a link down below to some that are already pre-colored for you from Amazon. And there you can just buy them as is and they're already done for you. But if you want the really cheap version, this is the way to go. So I got some stickers here. We got a little bit of work to do before we start this activity. I'm going to use this notebook from Dollar Tree too. It's just got a spiral bound index cards inside. You can break these index cards off. You can use your own index cards. You can use pieces of paper. I mean, you guys, whatever it is you have, go ahead and use it. Now I'm going to make patterns on here. I got to use the colors that I got out of my box and use the dots for what they're going to copy. So I got 2 blues. Let's do a yellow and an orange. And then you can make a whole book of these or however many you want. Let's do a card with a yellow, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, blue. You can make these chains as long as you want. You can have it so that you have a pattern and they have to figure out what the last one is. That would also be fun. And so now you have a little book and they can take their pom-poms. If you have the big ones, they can match up off to the side. If you have the small ones, they can match directly on there, but they can match up the pom-poms. So now you have some visual discrimination and color recognition, right? And then they can do the next one. Want to make this a little bit more difficult and harder? We already talked about doing patterns or figuring out what the next one will be in the pattern. So this one would be a yellow. Or you can add in my favorite, tools. This is my toolbox. I've talked about it numerous times on the Purple Alphabet. You guys are probably sick of me talking about these tools. They all work on fine motor. So this one, this one, this one, and this one, they are sold together. They all come together. So we got this one where you push it in and it opens and you stop pushing and it closes. This one works best for the smaller pom-poms. We have this one, which is like scissors, but when you open it, your fingers, it opens. It's the opposite of this yellow one. This one also has holes in it, so you can like use it with water, which is great. We got our regular tweezers here. You guys know how to use these. And then this one, it has a bulb syringe and it's used in water. For this, you kind of need more room to pick up your pom-poms. So I put them in like a bigger container because it's can't do it very well in a small container. And then once you have this, you now can pick a tool and use that to make it a little bit more difficult. And you're going to do this one by one. This is so much fun. And if you get this set of tools, like hands down, this is one set that, along with the pom-poms, I've used for years upon years upon years upon years upon years. A good tool set is good to have. I actually have 2 of them, the whole set. Links for these, definitely got to put that down below because this is a must-have if you haven't already invested in this. This is amazing. So you can do different skills, different tools. You can provide one tool. You can give them their choice of tool. They all kind of just work at different functions and they're a lot of fun. I'm pulling out some helpers here for this one. These are the Lakeshore alphabet picture magnets. I've actually used these in several activities. They sent this to me for a video a long time ago, but it's actually a really, really good set. There's magnets in here that have all the different pictures of phonetic sounds, beginning letter sounds in it. So you can use it on a magnetic board. You can use them separately and the pictures are just really great. The activity for this one is what I did is I went ahead and pulled some objects out. You could use this for letter sounds, but with toddlers, where we're not really working on letter sounds just yet. We're more working on object recognition. And what I did is I made a color photograph of it on the copier machine. Now I have a copy machine at home. You could use one at the library. I think maybe some like Staples or something does it if that's important. If you wanted to just take a picture of it and send the picture to your computer and print it that way, that's another option too. I figured that this would be a great object match. These are still recommended for ages 3 and up, but they are a nice large size. So we can pick up an object and match it to its picture because it fits exactly the same size. You can talk about what the object is. This is an apple. Well, what color is it? That color is red. Can you find the apple and match it to the apple? Can you find the umbrella? And you can ask them to look for a specific object, or they can just match them up on their own. To increase the difficulty, you can work on letter sounds, the beginning letter sounds of it. You can talk about, this is a lion. What does a lion say? Which object is your favorite? Which object is clothing, you know, you can get more in depth than just doing the matching. Another cool thing about this, if you don't want to do it on a sheet like this, you can also laminate this, is that you can just cut them up and make flashcards. And you can use these flashcards for the object match, or you can use these flashcards, you can even type on here and write the names and use them as vocabulary flashcards and categorize them and move them around versus having them on one paper. Because when you can move them around and categorize them, so let's say you can make a pile of animals, you can make a pile of object, you can make a pile of food and have different categories too. And just a way to extend it. I always love showing you guys ways to extend the material, using it multiple times in different ways. So that's what we did with this one. And then I was thinking not everybody has something like this that's flat shaped like this. So you can also print out clip art on the computer and you can cut them, do it twice and then cut them out, and you could use this as your match. So don't be worried about not having the objects or the magnets. These are wonderful to have and these can do so much with them, but you can also print off some images and then just cut them up and have your own objects like that. Just laminate them so they're a little bit sturdier. Let me show you another option for something similar. I have another Lakeshore animal. This was their sea life bucket, which you can see there's rainbow objects inside of here. But what objects do you have around your house? Look around and see. You could use those Matchbox cars. So I went ahead and printed these. These were a little bit more difficult because they're they don't lie flat like the magnets, but they did the same thing. And so I can have my tray here. I did one of every color because I didn't want it to get confusing by color. So then they can match up the object this way by shape and color. I also printed them kind of equally, but you can make them a little bit more sporadic, which makes the visual discrimination a little harder. Copying it over in black and white, you can see I'm running out of ink already. And if you do black and white, then the color doesn't matter. So now we're trying to just match the shape. And these are more complex objects, so it is a little bit more difficult. So if I put my octopus here, seahorse over there, and then you can do more objects. And like I said, the color doesn't matter when you have it in black and white. In this box, I have mini erasers. How many times have you bought these and didn't know what to do with them other than to use them as manipulatives and for counting, which is wonderful, or actually erasing, right? Since I had so many, I thought this would be a good example of a way to use them. I'm going to go ahead and pull over, since St. Patrick's Day is coming up, let's pull over the rainbows. This one definitely is a choking hazard. In the world of Montessori, it is known to be using this even at a toddler level, and that is a transfer. You could also use the pom-poms for this. You could use the rice beans, whatever you have. Then you're gonna need 2 containers. I have these are from the Dollar Tree. They actually sold together, and I actually should go ahead and put those in there. This is just an object transfer. How simple can you get? The first step is to use your fingers because you're working on the pincer grasp. I've showed this activity many times before. We do it one by one, and that's the easiest form to do it. More complicated, bring out that toolbox and add a tool to it. Let's add our little mini tweezers here, for example. And now you're working a little bit more challenging level by picking them up one by one until your container is completely transferred over. And don't be afraid to try other objects that you might have already in the house. So I use mini erasers because I feel like a lot of people have mini erasers and it's something that's just around. There's also these Dollar Tree gems that are in the gardening section. These are a little bit different shape. They're a little slicker, so they're harder to control and manipulate, but it's that same concept of working those fine motor muscles and control. That one I got too. Harder to do one by one with this one. And real quick, since we are talking about toddlers, I also wanted to mention a different way that this particular activity can be done, especially with that toddler age, and that is with sponges. This is actually my water transfer busy bag that I've had forever. And even my younger kid likes to play with it, but you would just push a sponge in here with some water and you soak up the water and then falling all over the place and squeeze it into the other container, and it's a water transfer. And you can also use that other tool, soak up water and do water transfer with that. Just a little tip that I've shown before on different ways to transfer water and liquid. If you like these types of videos, I'm gonna put another one up here on screen for you to go watch next. I will see you over there. Make sure to click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.